Thank you for tuning in to Blue Dog Radio. This is your host, The Wag. Well, today is a very important day because once a year about this time we celebrate a great American who had a dream. And his dream would not only forever change the course of American history, but indeed global history. Let's talk about his dream a little bit. Many years back, working in a UPS warehouse, we were debating whether or not we should have the Tuesday morning off because Monday was MLK Day. You see, we used to work very early in the morning, and typically when Monday was a holiday, we would take the Tuesday off. There was a young black man who was just adamant about having that day off, and he said to the supervisor, "You wouldn't understand, it's a black thing." Was that Martin Luther King's dream, to have one black man who didn't particularly care for white people, by the way, saying it's a black thing? I just heard that they are hiring a sculptor to make a statue of Martin Luther King. Is he a black sculptor? No. Is he a white sculptor? No. He's Chinese. They hired a Chinaman to make a sculpture of Martin Luther King. Jesse Jackson, who knew Dr. King, actually said that is what he would want. You see, Dr. King wanted his ideology to spread throughout the entire world. And this particular Chinaman actually says he's inspired by Dr. King. You know, they have problems with racial minorities in China as well. The Han are the majority, but they're little ethnic groups, and they struggle sometimes for equality. There are other parts of the world that have been impacted by his ideology, such as Northern Ireland. Now, these are all Celtic people, so they're actually the same race, but the nationalist minority, who are largely Catholic, have been oppressed for a long time, and they have been inspired by the teachings of Dr. King, and they have adopted some of his tactics as well. That, my friends, that is Dr. King's vision. I remember another day at UPS. I saw a black man and a white man walking side by side, chatting about football, I believe it was, and they both had Union t-shirts on, Go Teamsters, something like that, and the white guy had a Confederate battle flag wrapped around his head. I noticed, of course, the Confederate battle flag, and I noticed that nobody seemed to care. We were all brothers. We were all Teamsters. Now that right there, that is Dr. King's dream. Saying that Dr. King is a black thing, that's not his dream. His dream is that we would all be together and that we would all accept each other. We would all hold hands at the table of brotherhood. So where does that put the black man today? Martin Luther King was indeed a black man. Shouldn't they be proud of that? I say absolutely. Martin Luther King was indeed a black man, and he came from, of course, the black community, the oppressed black community of the time. He is a product of them. Here is the way I see Dr. King's dream and most of the ideas around the civil rights movement. This is the African Americans' great contribution to the world. They gave us racial equality. And I think they, more than anyone, need to embrace that now. Martin Luther King and his ideas need to be shared with the world, not just with the black community. So, for this Martin Luther King Day, we need to remember that vision and remember that we're all created in God's image. Well, I've been a little slow about posting videos lately because I have a new semester starting and it's a little busier than I expected. But I'm getting settled in and I should be getting back into this again. I've got several topics I want to address in the next couple of weeks. I definitely want to talk about traffic tickets and what your rights are if you're pulled over and what they should be. I also want to talk about my favorite political blog, The Rise of the Center, And I'm probably going to talk about SOPA at some point as well, the rise of internet fascism. So stay tuned, and you'll hear about these interesting topics and more here on Blue Dog Radio. This is the WAG signing off.